Hi, everyone, and welcome to the All About Cats Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. My name is Tabitha Kucera, and I will be answering all your burning cat behavior questions as they come in on the lovely social media outlets that All About Cats are at. So, YouTube, Facebook. I'm so excited to be here today to be answering all your cat behavior questions. My name's Tabitha Kucera. I'm a fear-free and low-stress handling registered veterinary technician, a certified cat behavior consultant, and a Karen Pryor Academy certified training partner. And again, I'm here to answer all your burning cat behavior questions live in real time. How fun is that? So as people start to come in, I'm going to just take a few minutes to see the questions coming in. Ask away. I am here at your leisure to help you and your cats, whether it's how can my cat be happier? What does it mean when my cat does this? Cats are very interesting creatures, and I get quite a lot of questions about them as a cat behavior consultant and a dog trainer. I own Chirrups and Chatter, which is a cat and dog behavior consulting business in Cleveland, Ohio. And as everyone comes in, let me know where you're from, because I know there's been people at these live chats all around the world, which I love. Cats bring people together. So again, welcome to the All About Cats Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. I'm here answering all of your burning cat behavior questions. I'm just gonna look to see what questions we have coming in. Ooh, hello from Texas. Hello. See, everyone's out there coming in. It's Eastern time for me, different times all over the world, good times. Oh, the UK. Oh, I want to visit the UK so bad. One day, once the pandemic is better controlled, hopefully everyone's safe in their homes right now, cuddling with their cats on their computers. I'm sure they're there with you because they love to be high and they love to be with you. And computer laptops tend to be warm. And cats love all three of those things, you, height, and warmth. So I see there's some questions coming in. Did you make your cat tree? Oh, that cat tree. That is actually an over the door thing because I'm not handy. And that's what's great about providing vertical spaces for your cats. Sometimes if you're handy, you can make a ton of things, or they sell really great things. This just goes right over my door. Really easy, and that's my large litter box that's appropriately sized in my office. So I actually purchased that online. If you look up over the door vertical cat spaces or cat tree, that thing's been here for about 5 years and it's awesome. So let's say, oh, I love this question. I feel like my cat is always bored even though I play with her at least 4 to 5 times a day. Good job playing with your cat. I appreciate that. I've watched many videos on how to play with her, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Awesome job looking at that and being like, maybe it's me and maybe it's not my cat. So I actually have a handout, I know it sounds silly, on how to play with your cat at chirrupsandchatter.com. It's a free handout and it goes over tips and tricks on how to make play more fun for your kitties. And cat wand toys are great for play, but cat enrichment is so much more than that. Of course, wand toys are important, allowing them to attack and kill their fake birds and mice and all those other lovely things. And we like wand toys because then we're teaching the cats that these aren't toys with toys that are very short, because basically you're telling your cat, play with my hand, and then you get upset when they actually play with your hand. So wand toy play is a great place to start, but cat play, you can do so much. You can start feeding your cats with puzzle toys. There's a really great website called foodpuzzlesforcats.com that goes over a lot of great toys to begin with that you can make out of your house, things in your home. And what I mean by puzzle toy is it's just a toy that allows the cat to work a little bit to get that food. So it might just be the bottom of an Easter egg and they forage. If you've ever seen your cat knocking things over or pawing something, they'll forage, knock it out, kill. So they killed the prey and then they eat, which is great. There's a lot of other things you could do. You can bring the outside in, get some cat safe grasses in your house for them to explore and chew on. There's scent enrichment. You can get catnip or silvervine. There's so many things. Clicker training is also a really great way to enrich you and your kitty, which is a type of positive reinforcement marker training. But there's so many places to go with keeping your cats happy and healthy. But I would definitely take a look at that handout. I think it'll go over a lot of great tips for you. Do you know why my cat hisses and growls at me when I finish giving them a bath? Most likely, when a cat is growling or hissing, that's showing that they're uncomfortable and or fearful. So most likely they are expressing that body language to say they're uncomfortable or fearful. And most cats actually don't need baths. There are a few purebred kitties, which you may have, that do need baths as part of their routine care. But most cats, like domestic short hairs and domestic long hairs, don't need baths unless they happen to roll in something disgusting outside or something like that. But otherwise, cats take care of their coats pretty well on their own. So since you're noticing that your cat is hissing and growling, that's probably telling me that they're uncomfortable and scared. So it's really important to acknowledge that body language and try to make it a little less stressful in the future. Or it might be you're using the towel and that's causing them to hiss. It might be they're afraid of towels, or it hurts where you're touching them. There's a lot of reasons why, but when a cat is hissing or growling, that's them telling us, I'm uncomfortable or I'm scared. So we should look at what's happening around them and try to make it less stressful or remove what's stressing them out for sure. We definitely don't want to punish them for growling or hissing. That's your cat. Just like with dogs, you never punish a growl or a hiss. That's your cat advocating for themselves and saying, I'm uncomfortable. So it would kind of be like someone punishing me for saying, I'm uncomfortable with this, which is really creepy and can cause a lot of issues. So we definitely want to watch our cat's body language and listen to them and do what we can to respect them and help keep them comfortable and safe so they're not in situations where they're hissing and or growling. Let's see here. I've taken my cat to the vet. Awesome job taking your cat to the vet. Love it. To be seen, and they say nothing is wrong, but they won't pee in the litter box, but poops in it. I've upsized the box, thinking it might be too small. So that's great that you took your cat to the vet, and most likely your vet just started with a routine urinalysis, which is where we look at their urine to see if there's anything abnormal in there. Possibly, most likely an exam and or blood work. If they haven't done those things, I would maybe reach out to another veterinarian because that's just the baseline, or reach out to your vet and say, I would love to get this test done. This is what's happening, just to help rule out medical issues. Cats can pee outside the box for a lot of reasons, from a UTI or a cystitis, which are urinary issues, or like a bladder infection, to pain. Like it hurts when I walk. Which is really common in cats, actually. And a lot of the times we don't see it. And the vet doesn't watch the cat walk, so they don't see it either, which is why it's really great to take videos of your cats just being normal, like walking, eating, 1 to 2 minute videos, and bring them to your vet. So your vet can have a better way to help diagnose and figure out what's going on with your cat, to see your cat in their real home setting where they're probably less stressed. But I would recommend definitely adding more litter boxes, and you're probably right about the size of the litter box. I have a handout on litter boxes also on my website at tripsandchatter.com. I highly recommend checking that out. It goes over the ABCs of litter boxes: accessible, big, and clean. It goes more in depth than that, but that's a really good place to start, because a lot of cats will defecate in the box but not urinate in the box. And people are like, well, it's not the litter. It's not this. I'll use a porta potty, you guys, even though I don't want to. Just because your cat's using it doesn't mean they like it or they feel safe in it. So take a look at where the box is, make them easily accessible to your cat so they're not difficult to get to, easy to find, not ambush areas. So they shouldn't be in corners or in closets where basically they can be ambushed, because cats are prey and predator animals. And even if you only have one cat, they're conflicted when they're going into like a covered litter box, for example. that is in a closet, because then they can't see what's coming to get them. Because as prey and predators, they're always thinking about that. So everyone who's coming in, welcome to Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. My name is Tabitha Kucera. I own Chirps and Chatter Cat and Dog Behavior Consulting and Training in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm here answering all of your beautiful questions. Thank you to everyone who is submitting. I'm trying to read as fast as I can. Let's see here. All right. How do I get my cat comfortable clipping their nails? So your cats, probably a lot of your cats don't like getting their nails trimmed, I'm imagining. And a big reason for that is because usually when we're trimming a cat's nails, we tend to use a lot of force. So for example, I hold them down, or I'll scruff them and hold them down and not allow them to move a lot. And as you can imagine, cats don't like that. And if you held me down every time I got my hair dyed, I would not get my hair dyed anymore. It's really easy to create that negative association and actually make them really scared and afraid, and even sometimes like painful when it comes to nail trims. So I'm all about breaking it down and making it simple. So for example, it might be, let's pair it with good things to start. So instead of physically manipulating your cat, like, you're going to stand here, I'm going to scruff you, blah, blah, blah. Let the cat stand where they want. Just let them move like a natural cat. Maybe, like, for example, I have over here, this is a bookshelf, but I have a bath mat on it because it's comfy. It's a non-slip surface. And that's actually where I do my cat's nail trims. So my cat jumps up there. I have a licky mat where you can use a plate and spread churro on it really thin. If you don't have a licky mat, which a licky mat is just a mat with little grooves in it that slows them down a bit. And then my cat chooses to go up there, or you can lure your cat up there with a treat, give them some churro, and then instead of just pulling their arm, maybe go down from their shoulder to their arm and maybe cut one nail and end there. The cat lives with you. We want to start and end on a positive note. If your cat's not exhibiting a lot of negative body language, like if their ears are forward and they're happily eating and they're not doing this and trying to get away from you, then maybe cut 2 or 3 nails, but stop before the cat gets stressed. Because a lot of people are like, aren't you reinforcing the cat for trying to get away? No, you can't reinforce emotion. That cat's saying he's uncomfortable. If you force him to stay there, they're not going to like it in the future. And next time they won't even come to that mat or near you. So it's all about breaking it down, pairing it with good things. Like, again, like licky mats are great, or churro, a treat your cat likes. Make sure they like it before you give it to them. And they're going to get lots of treats throughout. So not just one. And then maybe you can work up to, I'm going to cut a nail, just one nail, here's a treat. I'm going to cut a nail, here's a treat. And again, stop before the cat gets stressed. You might only get one nail done that day, but within a few weeks, your cat's going to be like, I like my nails being trimmed, versus if I force them, you're not going to have any luck and it's just going to get worse. So those are some really great places to start. Watch your cat's body language. Stop before they show signs of, if they show signs of subtle stress, stop then, end on a positive note, and keep it comfortable. Like, I'm going to have my cat on a non-slip mat and I'm going to have them choose to go there in a position they like, not like all flipped over and all that crazy stuff, because they're gonna feel uncomfortable right away. So many great questions. Any tips for helping your cat accommodate easily when you decide to move out, whether on your own or with your best friend? How can I make Ginger less stressed about that? P.S. He's 9 years old. So senior cats, changes are harder for senior kitties, just like for senior humans, right? So a few things you can do to help making moving a little less stressful is, since you're already thinking about moving, what you could do is, I'm going to put a few boxes out just to get my cat used to, and you might have already started packing up and starting to organize things. I'm just going to have a few empty boxes out. Cats love boxes. And then they get familiar with, okay, there's boxes. This doesn't mean something horrible is going to happen. I have some boxes to play in. I'm kind of getting them familiar with me moving and shuffling things around. Because some cats, if you just move a piece of furniture, that's such a huge change for them that it can be a lot. So subtly adding in some boxes, having boxes around, packing a little bit at a time. I think another thing is helping them become carrier trained so they love their carrier, leaving it out, giving them treats inside of it. So the transport to the new home is less stressful and safe for everybody. It's great to have your cat have a collar with their information and or a microchip in case, again, they're not going to get out, but we have to think of safety. And then when it comes to going into the new home, ideally I would have a feel away plugged into the house 48 to 72 hours prior to the cat coming in. Because again, it's just one small tool, but if I could do anything small to make it a little more comfortable for the cat, if your cat has cat trees or cat beds that they've been using, do not throw them away and get new ones. Take them to the new home because that has the cat scent on them and it's a familiar thing. You could always get a new cat tree, put it near the old cat tree, and over time gradually remove the old cat tree. But we definitely don't want to just throw away all their old cat trees and buy new ones. We want to bring that stuff to the new house. I would start them in one room so they can kind of, because it's a lot of stimuli. Moving into a new home, even if your cat's comfortable with travel and things like that, that's a lot. So set up a safe place, give them one room with all of their lovely stuff, vertical spaces, hiding places, enrichment, all of that lovely stuff, litter boxes. And then as the cat gets more comfortable, you can open the door. If the cat chooses to come out on their own, allow them to make that choice. They might come out and just explore the second floor that they're on and then go back in their room. That's okay. It's all about not forcing them and introducing them to the new environment slowly. The other thing that might be helpful is creating an enrichment schedule for your kitty. So you could start doing that now. I'm going to play with my cat with a wand toy between 8 and 10 every night. So they have a familiar, predictable thing that they could look forward to. Then when you move, even though the house is different, your schedule might be different, you can do something familiar and predictable at the same time. You're going to get puzzle toys before you go to bed every night. So some enrichment activity around the same time per day to provide them with some consistency and predictability in their new home. So those are a few things to get started on that I think would make it a lot easier for your kitty. Let's see. So many great questions. My cat pees standing up. I've switched from an open litter box to a covered one, and it still leaks. Any advice for the situation? So cats can pee standing up for a lot of reasons. Sometimes they pee standing up because they have some discomfort in their coxofemoral joint, which is their tushy, and it hurts to kind of posture to urinate. So they just stay up and pee. A lot of cats get arthritis and degenerative joint disease in that coxofemoral joint at the age of, usually we see it in sick cats as young as 6 and older. So one of the things I would recommend is getting a Sterilite container litter box. So like a container that you would put clothes in or something like that, that's like tall, like 18 or 30 gallons, because that's an appropriate size box anyways. The cat should be able to physically turn around in it. It should be at least 1.5 times the length of the cat. And then what I would do is cut a low entrance in the front, so then your cat can easily walk in and out, so it's not difficult for them. And then you have these large sides, so they could just, first off, they have enough room, and so they can urinate, because your cat also might be urinating very large amounts, which can be a medical issue. It can also be if they don't feel safe, so they hold it in and they're like, I'm not going to go around this other cat, I'm just going to pee once a day. So if you're seeing a lot of urine, which it sounds like you are, I would definitely think about underlying medical conditions, or the litter box isn't big enough, or the cat doesn't feel safe, all of those things. But I would start with a Sterilite. If you look up DIY litter boxes, or again, I have that handout on my website about how to make those, then the cat can do his thing. He pees, he can turn around. He doesn't have to step back in it because it's an appropriate size box that you made out of something that's $5, which is also awesome. The cat pees on the Sterilite container, pee goes down. That's what I would recommend. That will resolve your issue and your cat will be a lot happier. For everyone tuning in, welcome to the All About Cats, Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. My name is Tabitha Kucera. I am a registered vet tech, a certified cat behavior consultant, and a Karen Pryor Academy certified training partner. I like learning. You guys do too. Here answering all your burning cat behavior questions. Let's see. Why is my cat so tired? We were at the vet's today and they listened to her heart and looked at her. Nothing was wrong, but she just sleeps and won't play and jump like she used to. Awesome observation, Jessie. Most likely, if your cat isn't playing, so those are some pretty big behavior changes. So awesome job noticing that. Your cat isn't playing as much, your cat doesn't jump to her favorite places, and she sleeps a lot. All of those are pretty big observations that can indicate pain. And pain can be really hard to find. So awesome job taking your kitty to the vet, but even really great vets can have trouble finding pain in a kitty. So what I would recommend doing is letting your vet know that, like, my cat used to play and she doesn't. She loves, like, for example, if your cat was that favorite, if your cat's favorite spot was that place, and you're like, she hasn't rested on her favorite place, or she sleeps all day, or it takes her 30 seconds to get comfortable. She circles before she lays down. All of those are signs that your cat's uncomfortable. So those are things that I would definitely share with your vet. And also taking some videos of your cat's gait, like their walk. So I'm a big fan, I mentioned this earlier, of taking videos of your cats acting normal from your perspective. So for example, I have all my clients, because I work with their veterinarians, because it's a beautiful team effort, take videos of their cats walking for 1 to 2 minutes, playing. Like if a cat just wobbles over and plays like this, and that's the way they play, that's usually a pretty big sign for me as a veterinary technician and your veterinarian that your cat's uncomfortable. It hurts to stand up. And once we point these things out, you can see them and you can tell them to your vet. So I would definitely recommend taking some videos of your cats behaving normal from your perspective, like playing, sleeping, letting them know that your cat's not doing all their favorite things. It's actually Pain Awareness Month in this month for September. And there's a lot of really great Does My Cat Have Pain resources. I have one on my website at chirpsandchatter.com for free that you can see. So you can start to make note of what you're seeing and then share that with your veterinarian. Because sometimes even with humans with pain, they have to go to 15 to 20 doctors and really advocate for themselves before they find the right medication. And all those doctors were helping. But again, it's really about, because some people are like, if you don't have a wheelchair or you don't have a limp, you're not in pain. That's not how pain works. A lot of cats suffer in silence. A lot of people suffer in silence. So the fact that you've noticed these little things is really good, but I would definitely start to take note of those, share those with your vet, try to find more resources. And if your vet's not open to that conversation, I would get a second opinion. Second opinions don't hurt. No one knows everything, you guys. So, but awesome job acknowledging that your cat might be a little uncomfortable. It's not normal for senior cats not to play, by the way. I'm younger, but you guys, when I'm 70, I'm still going to be playing. I might be playing different, but I'm still going to be playing. So when I hear this, oh, my cat, it's normal that my cat just sleeps all day and never does anything. No, it's not. It's not normal. So we should see that and start advocating for our kitties for sure. So many wonderful questions coming in. I have 2 siblings that were born together, but they are not friends and fight a lot. I don't know what to do. So that's a complex issue. Cats not getting along, of course. There's a lot of reasons why that could be. One of a few things I would recommend to get started on is increase resources, no matter what. And by resources, I mean water, litter boxes, food resources. So like if you free feed bowls, if you feed at a timely feeding, do not feed them together. Cats do not like eating together. They are not fans of that. So separate them to feed so they can feel safe eating. Vertical spaces, hiding places, and scratchers. It's really important because a lot of people will have cat rooms, which is great, but we should have cat resources throughout the house. I have 5 cats and a dog, and I have a lot of resources everywhere to help reduce social competition, help reduce tension. Because then even if your cats don't get along, if you only have one litter box down some stairs, that other cat's body blocking, which is like casually laying in the doorway, that poor cat, if I was that cat, I would be like, I'm not walking past that guy. and feeling unsure about a daily function, I'm gonna go pee on the carpet over there because I feel safer. So increasing resources is something that you can do right off the bat to help decrease social competition, provide more choices, decrease stress with everyday functions like drinking water, eating, peeing. Because if they had stress every day with that stuff, so just lots of scratching surfaces, a lot of vertical spaces in places that you are, because both your cats love you. Like this is my office, and I have quite a lot of things. So I have a cat carrier under my desk. I have this lovely thing. I have this thing. I have a cat tree over here. I have a dog bed right here because I'm in my office for like 12 hours a day sometimes. And I understand that all my animals want to hang out with me. And I love my brother, but if he came over and sat right next to me on the couch when there's a bunch of other places to sit, I'm going to be like, dude, what are you doing? So even if your cats get along, that doesn't mean they want to touch each other all the time. So increasing resources, not forcing the cats to hang out with each other. So not being like, I'm going to hold the cat and then put him to the other cat. No. If they don't want to hang out, don't force them to hang out. And then also increasing predatory outlets for both of them. So we're going to play with you separately than the other cat because the other cat's not comfortable. He just watches at a distance while he's playing. And then he chases his brother because that's more fun. So make sure to give them enough predatory and prey outlets so they can let out that energy without, because one's play style might be different than the other. Those are a few really great things that you can get started on to help to increase the piece fairly quickly. And you could also hire, there's certified cat behavior consultants and veterinary behaviorists. There's people out there to help. Because I know a lot of people don't realize that they know there's dog trainers, which I am, but they don't realize that there are cat behavior consultants and veterinary behaviorists that can help you because behavior is complex and some of this stuff is hard. And every kitty is an individual, for sure. For everyone tuning in, thank you for tuning in. This is the Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. If you want to learn more, you can get more expert insights at the All About Cats community, which is a Facebook group. I'm just reading all of these beautiful questions. My ginger pounced at me when I panted. He did not attack, but his pupils got hella huge instantly. He lives with 2 shepherds before I got him, and they kind of roughed house with him. Is that why? It's hard to know if that's why for sure. Anytime a cat, because aggression can be normal, right? If one of you guys came at me and I said, please stop, and you kept coming at me, it's appropriate that I punch you. Aggression is normal, right? So the fact that your cat pounced at you when you panted and didn't attack, but his pupils got really big. It sounds like he might have, since he did the pounce, he might have been in a playful mood. And when cats are going to attack something, even in a playful way, they shake their little butt because they're looking at it. Their eyes get really big. Their pupils get dilated and their eyes get round. And then they go, psh. So it sounds like he was just playing. And that's great that he didn't attack you. But in that case, I would just remain calm and maybe toss a toy or a treat to get him away from you, because he might be really excited and over-aroused and see a hand and be like, and we don't want that. So I would definitely, in that case, it sounds like he was more of playing than attacking per se, like aggressively. Like, sounds like he was a more playful behavior than aggressive, I'm afraid behavior. So in that case, I would just freeze, see what's going on around you too. Anytime you guys notice your cat's acting fearful or maybe wanting to attack you or attack you, take a look at what's going on. Did a bowl just fall? Did something scary just happen? What's the context of the situation? Freeze, of course. Don't shake around and scream because that just makes you look like prey. And if the cat is scared, that's going to just make the cat more scared if you're screaming and moving around a lot, of course. So it sounds like in that case, he was just playing. And I would just give him some more toys and play with him more with wand toys and not short toys, not your hands or feet. But that's what it sounds like your beautiful ginger cat was doing. My cat hates the vet. He also does not like when new people are at our house. He hisses, and I've tried a lot of different introductions. Is there any hope for a good vet and cat relationship? Yes, there is. there's a lot you can do. First things first, I would recommend finding a cat-friendly or fear-free veterinary hospital. So if you look those terms up, you can find a fear-free vet or a cat-friendly hospital. And those are just hospitals that tend to be a little bit more aware of cats' emotional needs. Like I'm low stress handling and fear-free certified. For example, I don't scruff cats because we've learned over time that they actually don't enjoy that very much, and it actually causes more fear and stress. So instead, I observe the cat's body language I'm working with, and I work with the cat in front of me. So having that extra behavior knowledge, as you can imagine, can really help your cat be more comfortable. So I would definitely try to find a fear-free or cat-friendly vet. There's a lot of things you can do. You can bring your cat's favorite treats like churro or something at the vet. Bring your cat's cat bed. Like I bring my cat's cat bed to the vet because it's something familiar. When it comes to cat carriers, my cats are cat carrier trained. So I would definitely look into starting to carrier train your kitty. And then also there's a lot of professionals like myself who actually work with clients and veterinarians for cats who've had traumatic visits in the past for a variety of reasons. Because, right, even when the vet's super great and doing everything they can to reduce stress, the cat usually doesn't feel good if they're there. So we have to consider that. But you can hire people like me and other people to help create handling plans and do cooperative care training, where your cat just chooses to go into the carrier, your cat chooses to go to the mat, your cat, we get them familiar with stethoscopes and all that stuff. That's another level, but it sounds like you definitely want your cat to have good experiences at the vet. So that might be something you're interested in. And then also pre-visit pharmaceuticals, which is something you would talk to your vet about along with carrier training and low stress travel. So there's no magic pill, guys. So sometimes there are anti-anxiety medications that your vet can give you to give your cat along with fear-free and low stress handling, carrier training, and all that stuff. Those are some great places to get started. But you could definitely make vet visits better in the future. If you keep doing the same thing and they're just like, I'm going to hold the cat down and we're going to get it done. He's going to scream. He's going to be fine. He's not going to be fine. It's just going to get worse. So we definitely want to break that cycle and start working on breaking these things down and making them easier for your kitty. And there's a lot of wonderful behavior professionals and vets that will work with you for sure. Hi to everyone saying hi. Do you know to get anything to stop my cat from chewing wires? Yes. One of the things I would start with is management's just something we do right away to help decrease the problem while we work on changing the behavior. So management would be covering those wires up with like PVC piping or vet wrap. Basically, there's a lot of things if you look up pipe covers or cord covers. In the meantime, while we work on addressing your cat's needs to chew things that we want them to chew, let's prevent them from getting those wires. So let's keep those wires up to the best of our ability. You can't always do that. Let's cover those wires up with PVC piping or something. There's a lot of things out there. So the cat is less likely to chew on them. And if so, they won't get to them. And then I would increase your cat's chewing things. So I definitely wouldn't punish your cat. Like I wouldn't yell at your cat or spray your cat with water. That doesn't help. And if you've tried that, as you see, it does not help because your cat continues to do it. So what I would do instead is redirect the behavior. So if you see your cat and he's about to go and you're like, "Aw, dude, you're going in that corner with all those cords you love," I would toss a treat away from that to redirect the cat and then give them an appropriate chewing item. And a lot of people are like, what do cats chew? So it's harder to find cat chew items, but a lot of cats will chew because they're bored, they're stressed. Some cats will chew because they have teeth pain. So all of those are things you should consider, ruling those things out right away, increasing enrichment, redirecting when they do chew, and then providing appropriate chew things. Like a cardboard box is an appropriate chew thing. They're not going to ingest that. They might just chew on it a little bit. And if they do eat a little bit, it's not going to become a foreign body, which is okay. There's chew sticks for kitties, like silver vine chew sticks that you can get cats. Sometimes you can get some petite, like a petite dog's bully stick, so a very small dog, but we give it to our cat. Of course, anytime you introduce a new item to your cat, you should supervise them, but there are appropriate treat items for cats. So I'm all about management, redirecting, not punishing the cat because that doesn't work and it actually can make things worse. Making sure there's no medical issues with the cat's mouth, and then redirecting, and you're not reinforcing the chewing behavior. What you're actually reinforcing is the cat going away from the chewing, which is what we want, and then providing the cat with something to chew on. Those are some really great places to start. Let's see, so many great questions. Welcome to everybody. This is the Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. My name's Tabitha Kucera. I own Chirps and Chatter Cat and Dog Behavior Consulting in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm here answering all of your burning cat behavior questions. Let's see. My kitten likes to dip her toys in the water bowl when they're playing. Why? There's a lot of reasons why cats can do that. Some cats like to play in water. So when I was talking about enrichment, I love that so many of you guys are asking about how to keep your cats not bored. One of the things, some cats like water play. So one of the things I do is I have a small, like sterilite, or not sterilite container, like I'm totally zoning out at what they're called, but a small plastic container, like a sandwich thing, one of those things. And I put just a tiny little bit of water in it and then some ping pong balls. And my cats, it's a water play game and they love it. Now, some cats won't like that, but your cat might really like some water play games. And there's a lot of fun games that you can play with your cat to provide enrichment to help them enjoy water. And then they might be less likely to put their toy in the water bowl. Oh, what a cute little kitten. My cat in the morning, when she tries to wake me up, she jumps on my legs and bites and it really hurts. Ooh, that's rough. So most likely what she's doing is when she bites your feet, you probably wake up because you're human and you're half asleep and it's hard to not react and be like, what are you doing? And then you get up. So the cat's like, yes, this worked. So what I would recommend doing is, as management, you, again, not forever, so just in the meantime while we work on other stuff, you can always close your door before you go to bed and put puzzle toys around for your cat or treats for your cat to hunt at night. So your cat has something to do, it's positive, but that way they can't wake you up in that way by biting your feet. I would definitely try to, because it's important to not reinforce the behavior, but obviously when a cat is nipping at your feet, you're half asleep, you can't ignore it. So the best thing to do is probably close the door or have the cat in another room. Like, again, your bedroom door is closed, your cat's outside, you're playing with your cat before you go to bed with wand toys and other types of enrichment, putting puzzle toys around or putting treats around the house for them to hunt and find in the middle of the night is a really helpful thing to help prevent them from waking you up because it provides enrichment, it gives them something to do, and it helps with that appetite. So those are a few things I would do. I would definitely not punish the behavior because, as I'm sure you know, if you shake and start screaming, you just look like prey and it's a fun game. Or the cat might get escalated and it was play at first, which is still not okay with the biting, but then it becomes like a bite because they're really scared. So I would definitely try management to start like, hey, we're going to have the door closed. We're going to give you fun things to do. I'm going to increase enrichment. I'm going to play with you more before I go to bed. I'm going to turn on an interactive cat toy before I go to bed. So many things, but those are some great places to get started. Let's see. So many amazing questions. Love, there's some cat puns in the chat. I love me some cat puns. Share all your favorite cat puns. Can't ever have too many. My cat used to be an outdoor cat, but now she's an indoor cat and she gets hyperactive at night and runs a lot. Is there anything I could do to help her with her built up energy? So it sounds like she was probably not a feral kitty. She was probably just a stray cat that lived outdoors. And now she's a happy cat. She's your cat. So I'm sure she's in good hands. And good observation, noticing that she gets hyperactive, or like some of us call it those zoomies. What I would do, you guys probably know what I'm going to say because I keep saying it, increase enrichment. Cats need more play, guys. They need to attack and kill things that aren't her feet or hands. So puzzle toys or catnip kickers or a variety of things. So again, I think introducing puzzle toys for her would be great at night, or giving her a variety of different enrichment items. I usually tell my clients, hey, when does your cat get really hyper? Because they can tell me. And a lot of cats get hyper at dawn, like dusk. Every cat's different. But what you could do is 15 to 20 minutes before that time, give your cat something to do. It could be a wand toy session with you. It could be a clicker training session with you. Or it could be, okay, you need outlets. Let's prevent this. Let's give you, you're bored. Let's give you something to do before your little outburst. So I'm going to turn on an interactive cat toy tonight. And then the next night, I'm going to give them a busy box, which is just a tiny box with some tissue paper and some kibble and some fake mice. So they can hunt. It supplies tactile enrichment, scent enrichment, food enrichment. It just does a lot of things. So giving your cat something appropriate to do before that zoomy time, because that zoomy time does tend to be around the same time at night. And that's them telling us, like, I'm bored, mom, give me more stuff to do. And so that's definitely something I would start doing. There's a lot of different enrichment items, but timing matters. And that's your cat just saying, give me some more stuff to do. I'm kind of bored. And sometimes you can play with her, but there's a lot of fun activities that your cats can do on their own too. Welcome, everybody. Again, this is the All About Cats Ask a Cat Behavior Consultant Anything. You can get more expert insights at the All About Cats community. I'm getting better at knowing where the little thing is. How do I reduce my 2 cats' addictions to temptation treats? I love this question. I honestly, I can't say. Provide them with some other things. I know that was a fun joke question, but that's great that you found a treat your cats really like. But it's always important to change it up. So I would but Temptations has a lot of different flavors. So I would just try to reduce their intake. Only give them a few at night, a few at this time, and I break Temptations in half. Because I like to give cats a lot of treats because I do clicker training and a lot of other things. So you can break them in half or even fourths. And I have little bags of them already broken up, so I can give them lots of treats, or they can hunt them all at night. But those are some tips that might help with that. I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh, so many great questions. So I was asking about their kitty defecating on the floor and not in the litter box, and that they clean it every day. That's great that you clean it. I'll be honest, most of the time, if a cat is defecating out of the box, it's a medical issue. And by medical, it could be so many things, not just parasites, because everyone's like, my cat got a fecal and they're fine. I'm like, you guys, poop is way more in depth than just parasites, you guys. Just like GI issues with humans, it's way more in depth with that than that. So I would definitely recommend a good veterinary visit. The biggest reason I personally see cats defecate outside the box is pain. Pain when they walk, and in that coxofemoral joint, that joint right above their tail. So like I was mentioning, I'm not sure if you were here when I was talking about that, but I recommend a Sterilite container that has a low entrance, so you make it yourself. Because the litter boxes they sell in pet stores, they're not for cats, y'all. They have these, hey, you have arthritis, but I want you to jump to poop. That's absurd. So what I would recommend doing is looking into one of those DIY low litter boxes. Again, I have a handout on my website for free that goes into that. So the litter boxes are more accessible. I would also make your litter boxes more accessible, because a lot of people are like, my cat doesn't have pain, but you guys, they do. Because a lot of people have litter boxes in their basement, and your cat has to go up and down a flight of stairs to go to the bathroom, and that's their only option. And most cats over the age of 7 have some sort of degenerative joint disease, guys. It's okay, but we just need to acknowledge it. So what I would do is look at where your cats love to rest and make sure there's a litter box close to there. make some DIY low entrance litter boxes, and then definitely talk to your vet. Look at your cat's fecal samples and say, you could look up a fecal score from Purina. I know it sounds silly, but I have my clients do it all the time. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could just look at a picture and write what your cat's poop looks like, because it's going to be really helpful for your vet to figure out what's going on with your cat. The more information we could provide them, the easier it is for them to figure out what's going on, along with that stuff in the environment, like a low entrance litter box. Litter box is very accessible. And then of course, we're not going to punish our cat. That's like punishing your kid for vomiting. So we're definitely not going to do that, but those are some great places to start. So many great questions. I just see a few people's stories here. So many great questions. I know I have to read faster, everybody. Oh, everyone's asking about the cat over the door thing. If you look up over the door cat hanger door, I know I'm not good at Google. There's a lot of great options. I think they have one on Amazon. I'm going to have to make a list of all my favorite cat stuff for you guys. Let's see here. My 6-month-old male kitten named Moon, what a beautiful name, won't stop biting hands. I've tried everything. The great news is you haven't tried everything, which is what I tell my clients. Because a lot of the stuff about cat behavior out there, you guys, it's not super great. So awesome job tuning into this to learn more. What I would recommend doing in the moment is avoiding any play with hands or feet, which you might have or you might have not, because a lot of us see kittens' bellies and we're like, Chew! And then when they're 3 months old, we're like, why are you biting my hand all of a sudden? Because we were playing with their bellies and they didn't like it. And we taught them it was a toy. So what I would do is, if you're doing that, discontinue any toy or feet play. Any wand toys should be like, this is an appropriate length. Look, I have one in my office, of course. This is an appropriate length for a wand toy. Still going. This is not. Because even if I have the wand toy, the cat's basically playing with my hand. They sell lots of weird stuff out there, you guys. So a wand toy should be very, very, very long, because your cat is killing their prey with the wand toy, and we don't want it dragging across our feet or close to our hands. So that's the one thing. I would definitely increase your cat's enrichment, give them more outlets to play on appropriate things like interactive cat toys. Again, I can't begin to tell you how many cats needs more outlets. And then when your cat may be teething, because you mentioned the cat was a kitten, so teething can be uncomfortable. So I would make sure to provide appropriate chewing items, especially, throughout the cat's life, but especially right now. They sell a lot of great kitten chewing items. Those are a little easier to find than adult kitten or adult cat chewing items. And then what I would also do is, if the cat does go to chew your hand, because the cat doesn't just go, the cat's probably like wiggles his butt or does some other things before he chooses your hand. The best thing to do in the moment, while you are also increasing enrichment and discontinuing rough play or petting their bellies, all that stuff, is freeze to the best of your ability, right? Freeze, because again, if we shake and move, which is sometimes instinctual, they are like, I'm gonna kill that hand. This is such a fun game. And then we start getting high pitched and we look even more fun. So I would freeze, and then I would set up treat stations or toy stations, for example. Like if there's an area your cat normally stops to bite your hand or bites your ankles, like if it's past the bedroom, I have my clients set up ambush station type things. So you could get a 3M strip thing and hang up a nice basket of toys. And before you pass, you know that cat's going to come and ambush you out of play because they're bored. So I'm going to toss a toy before I walk past that door, or before I sit down on that couch. The cat always jumps at me and bites my fingers, to redirect the cat to play with something appropriate and prevent that behavior altogether. And then and if your cat is actively, because it's going to take a minute to break this behavior pattern. If your cat does attack your hand, you're going to freeze. And then as soon as the cat relaxes, or within a second or two, you're going to toss not like this, because this might make the cat more excited. You're going to toss a treat or a toy to redirect the cat while doing these other things. And again, a lot of people are like, aren't you reinforcing the biting? You're not. You're reinforcing the cat disengaging. And the other things for you to do make it worse. So those are a few things to get started with that I think would be great. And again, I have tons of free resources on my Chirps and Chatter website and my social medias. So definitely check out how to play with a cat handout that I have on there, because it goes over a lot more tips, but it's a beautiful, nice little one-page handout. So we have about 10 minutes. You guys, time really flies when you're talking about cats. And I feel like you guys are all with me, even though I'm just chilling in my office. So let me see if I can get a few last minute questions here. And I'll be back next month. And I'm also going to be working with All About Cats to make some videos on all of your burning cat behavior questions. So there's lots of fun things in the works. So definitely follow and like All About Cats and Chirps and Chatter so you can keep in touch. So many wonderful questions. My cat keeps meowing in the middle of the night, even after being fed. So again, right, there's a lot of reasons why your cat could be doing that. Sometimes, depending on the age of your cat, which I'm not sure, but if it's a newer behavior, right, if you're like, I moved, or my cat just started doing this a month ago, definitely take that into consideration. If you have a senior cat, let your vet know, because sometimes vocalizing in the middle of the night can be a cognitive dysfunction thing. So as they age, their cognitive function has some issues, but there's a lot of things you could do to help with that. But it's important to address that with your veterinarian if that is the case. Also, what I would recommend is, if you feed your cat now, they might not be hungry. They might be bored. You guys, I see a lot of bored cats. Just like bored kids usually act out, and that kid's bored. You know, we need to give them appropriate outlets to be kids. So I would definitely start doing a play session or something right before you go to bed, and then start keeping a little bit of a journal when your cat does vocalize, so you could see if there's some patterns, because it might be every Sunday. You never know. I've seen some things, and that's really helpful information to have, because there might be another cat outside and the cat's actually vocalizing at the other cat, and it might have nothing to do with cognitive dysfunction or being bored or any of that. So gathering more information, increasing enrichment, giving them an outlet before you go to bed, whether it's a 15 to 20 minute play session, or again, puzzle toys, or both, which is probably what I would recommend to start, and giving them an outlet before you go to bed. And then, I'm sure you're not doing this, but not waking up in the middle of the night and putting more food in their dish. Doesn't sound like you're doing that, but some of us will do that. And then they're like, oh, this is awesome. I just keep meowing and they give you more food. So those are a few things that why your cat might be vocalizing in the middle of the night. I could probably get like 1 or 2 questions in. So quick. Does neutering change behavior in cats? My 4-month-old boy is scheduled for the procedure on Friday, and I'm worried his personality might change. No. And it does not change your cat's personality. That's a really great question. And neutering, of course, that's great that you're neutering him at a little bit of an older age. There's a lot of data that's telling us that that's better. But I know not everyone has that opportunity, because in shelters, we're doing the best we can, and we have to spay and neuter them earlier to help prevent more kittens. Not that we love them, but we have enough. So there shouldn't be any personality changes at all. He may be a little sleepy the day after, or if he is like, I'm a little off, like I'm hiding under the bed, or I don't want to play for the day after, just make a note of that, let the veterinarian know. But usually there's only subtle changes the day after, and that's recovery after surgery. But there aren't any severe there shouldn't be any personality changes. But that's a good question. And if you feel like, hey, he's not playing as much, or something like that, again, very unlikely, but it could be related to something else. So let your veterinarian know. Very, very important for us to tell them. There's no bad things that you could tell us as veterinary professionals. The more we know, the more we can help. Because a lot of people are like, isn't this normal? And they don't tell us about it. And then I hear about it and I'm like, that is not normal. I wish you would have mentioned that. So questions are great. Always ask your vet if you're unsure, or your wonderful veterinary technicians as well. Let's see. I was told around 8 months. Is that too late? No, that's not too late. That's a whole nother conversation. There's a lot of great research out there if you want to nerd out. Like I said, as we've gotten more research as veterinary professionals, we realize spaying and neutering later, not like at 5 years old, but at maturity. So like 4 to 8 months. And obviously with dogs, it's a whole nother conversation. It is a little bit, we're seeing it's a little bit better, but some circumstances, like in the United States, because in some countries, they don't spay and neuter when they're that young, but those countries, people tend to be a little more responsible, just being honest, with not allowing cats to breed and have more kitties. So that is not too late. And if you're unsure, again, ask your vet. There are a lot of great research studies. Don't read blogs about it. If you really want to nerd out, ask your vet for more information or a veterinary professional, and they can help you. Do not ask a Facebook group. If any of you have, you know how that goes. It leads you down a weird place where you're like, you know nothing. Why are you saying these crazy things? Oh my gosh, so many great questions. So it looks like it is 4:56, so I'm going to be finishing up. Thank you to everyone for joining me. I know it's a random time, like in the middle of the day, and all of you are like, let's talk about cats. I appreciate it. Again, my name's Tabitha Kucera. You can follow me at Chirps and Chatter on Facebook and Instagram. And you can always get more expert insights at the All About Cats community. Boop, boop, boop. But I really want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and answering or asking all your questions. I love the input. Again, I feel like you guys are like here with me. It's crazy. I thought these things would be weird. And I'm like, no, we could talk about cats forever. But I will be back next month. And like I said, we have a lot of other things in the works. So thank you guys for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your kitties. I look forward to hearing what enrichment that you provided. There's so many fun things you could do. Next time, comment, share a comment, and let me know what new enrichment activity you offered your cats. Ooh, let's talk cat enrichment. So fun. Bye, you guys.